Well, hi! I'd like to welcome you out to Bethel Bible Camp, to day camp, because it's starting today. It's obviously a lot different than what we all were anticipating back at the beginning of April when you registered for day camp, but here we are. Look around, we're at camp. This is it. Anyways, virtually is as close as we're gonna be, but that's what we're gonna have. I'm sad you can't be here with me, but let's have some fun anyways. My name is Tim Burnett, and I was gonna be director for day camp this summer. For today though, we're gonna pack the normal 20 hours of day camp into just less than 20 minutes. What normally happens in 3 days. So buckle up your seatbelt, get ready, and we're gonna have an activity, a game show, a message, a craft, a snack, all kinds of things. So on your marks, get set, go. No, don't go, stay where you are. Not yet. Here's what I want you to do. Go and get 3 pieces of paper, okay, and a garbage can, some iced tea, and a cookie, okay? You can take as long as you want. I won't go away. I'll say that again. 3 pieces of paper, a garbage can, some iced tea, and a cookie. Before you go though, put the video on pause, and then turn it on again when you get back. Okay? Now you can go. Okay, it's good to have you back. Now we're going to start with our activity. Okay, so what you need to do is get one of your pieces of paper, and we are going to do a craft. Okay, so get a piece of paper, and we are going to make a paper airplane, and I'll show you how, just in case you don't know how. Okay, so first you take a piece of paper and you fold it in half. Okay, which I'm sure you've all done this at some point or another. You fold it in half. Okay, and then you take the 2 halves, and you take one. And you fold it over, and then you do the same on the other side. You fold it over, and then you're starting to see it looks like something. Okay, so this is what we have so far. And then you're going to do it again to make it even tighter. Okay, so we fold it again like that, and the same thing again on the other side. Okay, now you have one that looks like that, so you put it together. Now we have to make some wings. Okay, so we're going to get some wings up, and then the same on the other side. Okay, and then, so here's what you're going to do. You went to get a garbage can as well, right? So I have a garbage can right over here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the other side of the room from where you're standing, and you're going to take your paper airplane and try to get it into the garbage can. So you're going to throw it. Oh, I missed, so I'll try again. And so you're going to do the same thing, and you're going to keep doing it until you get it in, and then, oh, too far my time. And I want you to count how many times it takes you to do that, okay? You see how long it takes for you to get it into the garbage can. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to keep doing this, okay, and you do the same thing. And while we're doing this, Mr. Raju is going to come and he's going to talk to us, okay? And then afterwards, when you finally get it in, make sure you listen to him while that's happening though, right? And then you remember how many times you had, and you will get, when the whole video is finished, you get your parents, your mom or your dad to reply and say, it took me 4 shots, or it took me 5 shots, however many shots, and then I'll let you know sometime later how we all did with our paper airplanes. Okay? So that's our game. And now we're going to listen to Mr. Raju, and then I'll come and talk to you again at the very end as we close. Okay? Very good.
My name is Prakash Raju. I am the speaker for day camp this year. So I would like to talk to you about something called purpose. And in particular, I want to make you aware that you were made for a purpose. So let's get on with it. And to start off, I would like to introduce you to the game show. What is it? Oh yeah, the game show that everybody loves to play, and I'm your host, Mr. Raju. Well, let's see what our first item is on What Is It? Hey, let's take a look. Take a look at this thing. Yeah, see, it's got that little antenna thingy there. Oh, very interesting. So is this A remote control mini boat, B, a device to deliver insulin, C, the latest trend in high-tech jewelry, or D, all of the above? Well, in fact, if you guessed B, a device to deliver insulin, you are correct. So, why would I bring that up? Well, this is a rather interesting thing. This is called an Omnipod. Very few of you, I'm guessing, would know exactly what that was, but I do because my wife wears one of these. It gives her insulin when because she's diabetic and her pancreas doesn't work properly. So this is really important. It's a very intricate setup. It has a pump that pumps insulin, and it has a communication device that actually talks to her, a thing that she calls a PDM, in order to know how much insulin to deliver. This is a life-saving piece. The reason why I'm bringing it up, though, is although you didn't know what it was, and for sure you didn't, if you didn't know what it was, then I'm sure you also didn't know what the purpose was. I want you to know that the person who created this knew the purpose. In fact, they created it with a purpose. They, for some reason, knew or desired to assist those with diabetes in getting a better life. So this was created with a purpose, and the creator knew the purpose. Now, I want to say the same thing to you. You were created with a purpose, and your creator knows your purpose. And don't forget that. And now, back to our game show! Item number 2 on What Is It? Is this? Ooh, ah, oh. Well, is it A, a hairbrush, B, a toothbrush, or C, I don't actually know a C. That was too simple, wasn't it? I mean, really, this is a toothbrush. You know it's a toothbrush. But I want to ask another question. What's its purpose? Is it A, to scrub small spaces? Is it B, to keep your teeth clean? Is it C, to paint with? Or is it D, all of the above? Well, if you said D, all of the above, you are correct. Okay, so now the next question is, what was that about? The toothbrush. Wait a second. Isn't it to clean your teeth? Yeah, originally that was why we bought it. We bought it to clean our teeth. After it was used to clean our teeth for a bit, then it wasn't as good anymore. So we actually were using it currently to clean in small spaces, like at edges and crevices, to get things nice and clean. And in the end, actually, my son wants to use this toothbrush in order to use it to kind of like this and spray paint on some of his paint projects, because he said that's another way of using it. So why would I bring all that up? Why would I bring up a toothbrush and all of that stuff? Well, I want you to think about this for a second. You actually may have an idea that you have a particular purpose. God has given you a calling and a purpose. But will it always be that way? And the answer is no. No, I shouldn't say no. I'll say not necessarily. I will tell you this. God will decide what your purpose is, and He can decide to change that. The really cool thing, though, is if He does choose to change that purpose, He will also give you the tools in order to be successful with that purpose. Now, you may not believe me, but I could actually tell you examples from my life where I was heading one direction, and I was sure that that's what God wanted for me. And at that time, it was. And then things changed. If you look at my careers, my career, where I've worked in different places in order to make a difference for God and His kingdom that was unique. But there are also examples from the Bible, and the one example I want to talk to you about is David. So, King David, as we know him, you might also know him as Shepherd David, because originally he was a shepherd. And David, when he was working with the sheep at that time, it actually didn't seem like a very noble purpose. You know, kind of like cleaning crevices with a toothbrush. Like, that's not something, like if I was a toothbrush and I was used to clean crevices, I would think, my life has just been a waste. However, you know, thinking of COVID right now, if I could make sure that every area is cleaned properly so that people don't get sick, this very menial, useless type of task, and it becomes something that's really important and vital and life-saving, potentially. Definitely healthcare value, right? Like taking care of people's health. Very important thing. You know, with David, I'm sure some days he might have been thinking, I'm sure he might. Look at that answer. I'm sure that he did feel sometimes, Like, what am I doing here? I'm just stuck with these sheep doing this job. But the Bible tells us that that was an important part. And in fact, what he learned there allowed him to do the next great thing that he did. Because after that, his purpose changed from taking care of the sheep to protecting God's name, standing up for God, and showing the Philistines how mighty God was, and using God's power to do that. So he defeated Goliath. And some of the things he learned in taking down animals that were trying to kill the sheep that he was caring for, he was able to use in taking down Goliath. You know, there are other parts to this story, because David went on then to be anointed king of Israel, but he never even took the kingship. He had the opportunity to kill the king and take his place, and he was anointed to do that, yet he didn't, because God had a purpose for him. His purpose was not to take charge and to take down the authority. Instead, his purpose was to grow underneath that authority, because he said it. He will not touch the Lord's anointed, because God had still anointed Saul, the king at the time. And then later on, when Saul did die, not at the hand of David, when Saul did die, David did become king. He did a lot of things. Before he became king, he did a lot of things after that. You can read that in the books of Samuel, kind of find out some of that information. But the important piece is this. Remember these things. Number one, you were made with a purpose, and the Master knows that purpose for you. I don't know it. You probably have an idea, because he will tell you. He'll give you hints at least, and you will know it for a period of time. But he knows it for sure. He's created you with a purpose, and you need to live that out for him. You need to work to discover that. People like me, or your pastor, or your parents, even your friends, people that are Christian that you trust, can help you to discover that purpose. But in the end, God knows the purpose. And the other thing I want to remind you about is your purpose could change. It may start off as one thing, and you may love it. And that might switch, and you may go like, I don't like this. But I promise you this, God has given you the tools you need, or will provide you the tools you need to be successful in whatever purpose he gives you. And you will enjoy it in the end, because he's created you for it. Thank you for joining me. I'm sad that we can't talk together at camp, but I'm glad that I have this opportunity to chat with you and to just pour this into you one more time. You have a purpose, and that purpose is to make a difference in God's kingdom. And he's given you everything you need to do that, or he will provide you everything you need to fulfill that purpose and feel fulfilled and enjoy the joy of the Lord as you work in him. Thanks for listening. See you later.
You remember the airplane activity we did earlier? We're going to do another one, but this time it's going to be a little bit different. Some of you will remember this from last year at day camp. So grab another piece of paper, because you had to have a couple of them there, right? Let's say that you want to go to heaven. Now, people always say that heaven is up, right? So if you want to go up, what do? You go in an airplane, right? So we're going to make another airplane, but this time it's going to be a little bit different. Okay, so you take your piece of paper and you grab this corner and you're going to go all the way down to the other side. I'll fold it here and then you can see what it looks like. Okay, so you start here and you fold it down, it goes all the way down to that side like that. So it doesn't look like an airplane now, it just looks like a kind of a weird triangle. Okay, you got that? So then you're going to grab this corner and you're going to go down all the way to this side. Okay, so let me do that one for you as well. Okay, now it looks kind of like a little house. Okay, so remember previously it looked like that? Well, we can start at the beginning. It looked like that, you folded it down, and now it looked like that, and then you fold it down like that. Okay, so you got a little house. Cool? Okay, then the next thing you do is you are going to fold it in half, the same as if it was a paper airplane. Okay, this is the way we did it earlier. Okay, so you're folding it in half. You take your thing and you fold it in half, just like that. Okay, that's pretty easy. And then you are going to make wings again if it's going to be a paper airplane, right? Because we're trying to get up to heaven. We're going to fly, so we got to have wings to fly. So we fold the wings up like we did before. There's one, and then the other. We have the wings up. Okay, so there's your paper airplane, ready to fly. We'll see if we can get up to heaven. Oh, came back down. It didn't work. Okay, so if you can't use an airplane to get to heaven, let's see what else goes up in the sky. How about a rocket ship? Okay, a rocket ship, because they go like way up, right? So we'll take your airplane, we'll just change it into a rocket ship. So you're going to take these little edges right here, and you're going to rip it right along there, nice and slowly though, okay? So just nice and slow. See how I'm ripping it here? When you get down to the bottom, you got to give it a little thing like that. See, because the rocket ship needs something to stand on, right? And then we do the same on the other side. You rip it, and it starts. It's hard to start, even for me, so it will be for you. So you rip it down the other way as well, almost all the way to the bottom, and then you have to make your little thing that sticks out to the side again. Okay, so you have a rocket ship. There it is. Okay, let's see if that gets us up to heaven. We'll shoot that and see if we can get up to heaven that way. Oh, it came down again. It didn't work either. Let's get our rocket ship. You know what? No matter how hard we try, we could try all kinds of different things. But there's only one way to get to heaven. Just like Mrs. Raju's insulin pump, okay, that you saw just a little while ago, or a toothbrush, or you, when Jesus came to earth, he came with a purpose, just like you have a purpose. He came to make a way for you to get to heaven. The only way that we can get to heaven is because Jesus died on the cross, okay? And so you have this nice little cross that you made. So if you remember how to make that craft, you can go back and watch it again to remember how to do it. It can remind you of the fact that an airplane or a rocket ship or anything else won't be able to get us to heaven. It's only because Jesus came to earth with a purpose. And so he wants to give you a purpose as well. So when we believe that Jesus, when he died on the cross, he died in our place, and when we ask his forgiveness for what we've done wrong, then we can go to be with Jesus in heaven as well. So if you have some questions about that, ask your mom or dad to explain it to you more. But let me just pray for you right now. Let's pray. Father in heaven, I'm thankful that Jesus came to earth with a purpose, and that we can have one too. And I pray that the children listening today can come to you and say, I'm sorry for the wrong that I've done. Thank you that Jesus died on the cross to take my sin away. I believe. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, well, thanks for coming to day camp with us today. Before you go though, time to get out your snack. So let's get your iced tea and a water bottle and your cookie, and enjoy your snack, and I'll enjoy mine. Yummy. Have a good summer. We'll see you next year at day camp.